One of the most interesting elections emerging in these assembly polls is the battle for Telangana. The BJP's attempts in particular to storm the southern bastion are directly linked to what happens in Telangana. I'm Barkha Dutt, you're with the Mojo story. One by one, we'll be doing a deep dive into each of the 5 states that are poll bound. Today, we look at the state of Telangana, a state where there is a triangular contest, making it somewhat different from the other 4 states where the contests are bipolar. Now, in this state, we'll be looking at the numbers from the ABPC voter survey that gives the edge to the BRS, to KC Rao. But once again, there are interesting questions about what could happen post-poll. The BJP that had hoped to become at least the main opposition party suddenly finds itself confronted with the resurgent Congress that is at least vying for place number 2, if not place number 1. The Congress in turn has accused the BRS, Asaduddin Owaisi, and of course, the BJP of being hand in hand. There's also a ferocious contest on for the Muslim vote. The BRS had christened itself or re-christened itself as the Bharatiya Rashtriya Samiti with national ambitions in place. But while it remains, at least rhetorically, opposed to the BJP, it is one of the non-BJP parties that has not joined the opposition India alliance. To discuss the politics of Telangana and how they're going down, let's introduce our guests on the program today. Let's bring them up one by one there. From a C voter today, because we'll be looking at their numbers, we're joined by psephologist and political scientist Manu Sharma. Good to see you. We're also joined from Hyderabad today by Sriram Karri. Sriram is, of course, the resident editor of the Deccan Chronicle. Always a pleasure, Sriram. Also joining us is the BJP's leader, national spokesperson Anil Antony. It's good to have you with us, Anil. And also joining us from the Congress is its leader, Nagesh D. We'll be joined by Dr. Chirumilla Rakesh of the BRS in a couple of moments from now. I'm told he's just should be logging in a couple of minutes. Let's start with a big picture before I get first comments from our panel. What does the ABPC voter survey say? Telangana votes last. So right now we're only looking at these surveys. As I said, if we start bringing up the slides now, the advantage here is still being given to the BRS. And let's look at that slide. The choice for chief minister, if you look at it first, KCR is still by a long mile the most preferred candidate for chief minister. Can we just stay on the slides for just a bit, please? And yeah, so KCR is the most preferred candidate for chief minister, but he's followed closely by Revant Reddy of the Congress, and then the BJP comes in at position 3. If we change the slide now and we look at the seat and the vote share projections that the ABPC voter survey is picking up, then this is what the vote share projection looks like. It's 41% for the BRS, 14% for the BJP, 39% for the Congress, and 6% for others. How does the ABPC voter survey say that this breaks down in terms of seats? Let's look at that next. So this is a very interesting seat projection. 49 to 61 for the BRS, 43 to 55 for the Congress, and then you can see that up to 11 for the BJP and 4 to 10 for the others. So as we wait for the BRS guest to join us, let's just get let me get an overview. Anil, for the BJP, is Telangana a somewhat disappointing campaign? I do remember the time when the BJP held its national executive in Hyderabad. Telangana was a key state. After Karnataka, Telangana isn't going so well for the BJP's plans to foray into the south. You're a BJP leader from the south, from Kerala. The south has remained kind of like a fortress for the BJP, except for some gains in Karnataka and a government in Karnataka, of course, till you lost it to the Congress. How do you see the campaign unfolding in Telangana? Anil Antony.
Thank you, Barkha, for having me in the show. So I saw your numbers. First of all, I would say it's the peak time of elections are yet to start. We have 2 more weeks of campaign, and we are very confident that we are going to improve dramatically from last time, and we expect much better performance. The very fact that it is a 3-party contest in almost every seat in that state, that it shows how much the party has improved from our previous election rounds. Let me just take you through the last 3 elections, starting from 2018 in the assembly elections, where our vote share was less than 7%. The TRS had almost 48% vote share, the Congress had 28, and we only had one seat. And then 6 months later, when the Lok Sabha elections happened, we almost tripled our vote share to almost 20%. We had 4 seats. We had more seats than the Congress party. Then the next year, when the Greater Hyderabad Municipal Corporation elections happened, which has almost one third of the state's population, we were again a strong second party with 46 of the divisions. KCR's party from 99 dropped to 60. The Congress party was decimated with just 2. So in that state, you look at elections, we are only seeing improvement. And this election, again, we are expecting our best ever performance in the state's assembly, and we are expecting a very strong showing where we will be a very, very potent political force in the state in the coming years to come. So we are constantly growing, and it is very early to say. We are our campaign. Our prime minister will be having multiple rallies there in the coming days. Our national leaders will be having multiple rallies and public meetings in the coming 10 days. So we are expecting further growth in the next 10 days. We are expecting a further. We will do much better than what is being expected by your team, and definitely we will have our best ever performance in our party's history in Telangana this election. So that is a guarantee that I can tell.
Now, Anil, let me just ask you, as we're looking at the results of the 2018 elections, but let's also bring up the Lok Sabha. That's how the seats went down in 2018. But let's also look at the Lok Sabha graphics. And while we actually bring up the Lok Sabha numbers, there they are, where, as you said, the BJP actually did quite well. And I take the point that Lok Sabha and state elections are quite different. This is not what we are expecting. I'm only quoting to you from the Sea Water Survey, and Manu can defend their numbers. But you were hoping for a position number 2, and right now not just this survey but the other surveys too are in a way suggesting that you will be at place number 3. Is there something on the ground that you expect differently? And let me ask you the big political question straight up. The Congress has of course been releasing memes accusing the Prime Minister puppeteering BRS and Asaduddin Owaisi. We can play those pictures now. Do you see a possibility of the BRS and the BJP there? These are the kind of pictures you see all over Hyderabad. Do you see a possibility of the BJP and the BRS coming together after the elections?
So these are all speculations. First of all, let me again make it very clear. Right now, we are in a very strong 3-party contest across the state. We are expecting much better, bigger numbers than what is being anticipated. We expect our best ever performance in the state of this elections, and the rest of the decisions will be taken by leadership after the election. It is not something which I'll be able to comment now. But the Congress party and their acquisitions, again, I would tell their leader, Mr. Rahul Gandhi, like across the country he goes, he comes up with many of these outrageous allegations, which is very cut off from ground realities. I was in Mizoram for 3 weeks. I was the election going judge there, and he came there, and there again it's a 4-party contest there where there are 2 regional parties, both of them, especially one of them is an NDA ally, the other one is very, very against the Bharatiya Janata Party, and Mr. Gandhi came there and he was calling all the other parties RSS agents, which is outrageous in every manner. It's very cut off from every reality, and even the other parties were shocked hearing that. So he is making political accusations and claims which is very, very cut off from realities. And in Telangana also, we know that it is the BRS and the Congress who had been having extended talks multiple times regarding the possibility of BRS being a part of the India alliance. We all know that Mr. Owaisi's party is anyway aligned with the BRS theirs, and all the 3 parties, they have one. The only thing they have in common is they are all working in tandem to ensure that BJP doesn't grow there. But their efforts are failing, like you can see in the last 3-4 years. Despite all the 3 parties trying their very best, the party is continuously growing in Telangana. Like to what extent we will see after the election, but we are very, very confident that we will do very well. So the allegations which our political opponents are making is very cut off from realities, and it is not a reality in any manner.
Okay, these are the counter memes. Can we just look at them again once? These are the counter memes that have come from the BJP, and there is a great amount of sharp wit and humor that is actually being seen in this campaign. So that's actually a good thing. I want to bring in Nagesh D of the Congress. Nagesh, a lot of Congress leaders are saying that even they are surprised by what the numbers are showing. How do you explain the Congress's sudden energy in its campaign? In most of the other states, there is a great attempt by the Congress to keep the election local. Is this a local set of factors? Some people are linking it to Rahul Gandhi's Bharat Jodo Yatra. How do you see it, Nagesh?
See, thank you, Bharkaji, having me here. Firstly, this the present situation in the Telangana is not instantly cropped up wave. It is directly linked up with Revant Reddy's taking as a charge as PCC and extraordinary energy he pushed down in the cadre, which the Dalita he took various kind of program like Dalita Girijana Dandora till day Bus Yatra, Six Guarantees or Manifesto. He's very much strategically going forward, taking the Telangana people along with him. And it is, in fact, the ground reality over here is something different, where Congress is controlling the whole narration of the state. Okay, and the Karnataka Assembly result is another boost up to the Telangana. We see this the BJP's that policy of hatred doesn't work out here in a Telangana because people here believes in unity, diversity, right? And they are very much known to Ganga Jamuna Tehzeeb, where BJP comes up with some kinds of false allegations. Let's say there is a question. There is a question in Telangana society that what is BJP given till date? Since you check out the history of a BJP, you'll hardly find not more than 5 MLAs winning in assembly. So how can they are, just living in a cuckoo island, dreaming?
Sorry.
Yes.
I have a question. The Congress had a minority declaration. There is a big fight for the nearly 13% Muslim vote in Telangana. You are accusing the BJP of Hindutva or hate politics. The Congress is being accused of also playing a hand of communal politics with this minority declaration. Of course, the minority declaration isn't only about Muslims. You also club backward classes in it. But how do you respond to the criticism or the debate or the controversy around the minority declaration, Nagesh?
No, as such criticism arises from minorities in Telangana. We have been declaring our farmers' declaration, youth declaration. Along on that same line, we have been declared that minorities declaration here, and we are assuring minorities for it that what BRS promised them and failed to fulfill it. We are taking that as a our strategy, and we are giving them a confidence by providing 12% reservation. We are in our declaration, we are assuring Shadi Mubarak to their welfare-oriented, even educational backup. So this is how we are, taking the minorities in our confidence, and we are moving forward. That is what. And let's say we are giving example to like last in Hughes Sabha in Chavella, our Home Minister, respected Home Minister Amit Shah visited, and he said there, he uttered one statement saying that we're gonna erase that reservation for minority. There we felt a bit insecure, and we conveyed it very much to Telangana people, saying that our minorities are not safe. Look at
but religion-based reservation is constitutionally impermissible, right, Nagesh? So you're promising something to the people that is going to be struck down.
No, see, one thing you must understand, we have to bring the minorities in a mainstream of development. They are lacking in various platforms like educationally, gone public sector, in higher education. We are making sure that to bring them in a mainstream development, we are assuring about them the reservation. In fact, the Tamil Nadu and Bihar government are doing this, and we are giving them a confidence by saying that you are one of us, and we will make sure your development and bringing them in the mainstream of development. That is what we are assuring them. And not only that, there are lots of different false assurance given by BRS here, like Dalit CM, 3 acres, and every household getting a government job. All are failures, and there is a huge corruption. Our BJP Prime Minister and Home Minister JP Nadda have claimed that बहुत ज़्यादा corruption हो गया है कालेश्वरम में. So BRS government is corrupt government. Why don't ED comes here? There is a paper leakage issue here. All of you, state youth is like in a perplex mode. Why don't huge money got transferred? Like each paper got sold for 10 lakhs rupees. There are records. Some inquiry is going on. Why don't ED enter here? So there is a strong feel in Telangana that BJP and BRS are one. They belong to one home only. And they are, वो बोलते हैं ना कि दिल्ली में दोस्ती, गली में कुश्ती. That is how they are.
Okay. As our BRS guest joins us, I want Anil to briefly respond to that. The allegations of, Dilli mein dosti. चाहे गली में लड़ाई हो रही हो, दिल्ली में दोस्ती. You said that you can't respond on what might happen post poll, but you've seen the memes, you've seen these puppets that have been strung all across Telangana, where Prime Minister is depicted as the puppeteer, and you can see KCR Ramarao and Asaduddin Owaisi sort of hanging from those bridges. How do you respond to this insinuation that Nagesh has just made, Anil?
My co-panelist, Mr. Nagesh, made a lot of points, and I would refute quite a lot of them, because, to be very honest, one of the first things which Mr. Nagesh asked was, what has the BJP done for the people in the state? It is very true that we are not the state government there, but you look at what our government has been doing across the country in the last 9.5 years. One thing I can assure you is that almost every single household in this country, including in Telangana, they are all direct beneficiaries of some of our most successful schemes across India. You look at the number of houses we have created under the PM Awas Yojana, you look at the tap water connections and Jal Jeevan Mission, you look at our digital public infrastructure, you look at the number of the toilets we have created, the number of gas connections we are giving. And now in the past few days, we extended the ration scheme to 80 crore people across the country. And every single household in Telangana, one way or other, are beneficiaries of many of these schemes, some of the most successful schemes that we are having across the country. And I'm very sure that the people in the state do recognize that, which is why we are seeing this constant growth of the party in Telangana also, just like almost every other state in this country. Then there are insinuations that we are colluding with other parties. Again, no, the Bharatiya Janata Party, whatever our policies are and whatever our actions are fairly very well defined. We are against corruption, we are against corrupt practices. And
but are you disappointed that somehow in the south of India, the part of the country that you belong to, there is a different response to the BJP, especially at the level of assembly elections?
See, again, like we discussed earlier, there is a big difference between a state election and a national election. Like in Telangana itself, in the state election last time, we had 7% vote share, but 6 months later in a national election, because of multiple factors, including multiple factors, including the PM's Honorable Prime Minister's approval ratings, like we could increase it to almost 20%. So there is a difference between state and national elections. But in the state also we are growing. So finally, what we need to understand, so across South India, you look at Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, we already have a strong foundation there. We have formed the government there multiple times. In Telangana, everywhere you look at it, yes, the party is right now not the prominent party there, or it is not the one of the dominant parties there. We are continuously growing. I'll give some examples of what has happened, like finally in the last 4 or 5 years, where in the Northeast, let's say, for example, like in the 5-6 years back in the Northeast, the party's positions were even much below what the party's position is in any of the South Indian states, where the vote share used to be 2%, 3%, 0% in many of those states. And now, because of, again, I would say our policies, our development focused policies, our Act East policy we created in the Northeast. Suddenly, there are 8 states there, and 7 of the 8 states is now governed by the Bharatiya Janata Party or our ally. And this happened in the last 5 years, where 7 states, this much change happened. And now people say, okay, South, you are not there. But again, the party has every intention to grow in each of these states. The party hasn't reached anywhere near our maximum potential. We do understand that there are other states we are still growing, and the party is making every effort to grow in each of those states, and it is happening also. Like, it may not happen overnight, but you look at the last 4 or 5 years, and each of these states, for example, in Kerala, like where I come from, in 2009, the NDA vote share was only 4%. Now it is 13%. So there is a 300% growth there. Similarly, you look at Telangana. Last time was 7%, 1 seat. And this time I can assure you that it will be a much, much better performance. So we are growing. And I'm very sure that with time, when more and more people gets confidence in what we are doing, where we are actually delivering unprecedented growth across India. Right now, India as a economy, we are the best performing economy. We are creating unprecedented amount of capacity and infrastructure across. We are delivering public goods and public infrastructure to people in a manner which the country has not seen before. And when this especially in many of the southern states, what we are seeing is many of these state governments, they are actually getting central government policies. They are, let's say, changing the names and giving it another name, so people don't even recognize that it is a central government policy. But all this will change. And in Telangana also, we will be a very prominent political force after this election, where finally, the very fact that a party that won one seat and 7% vote share is seen as a contender in a three-party contest itself shows how much the party has grown in the state. So let us.
I'm hoping Dr. Rakesh can join us very soon. But Sriram, before we get Manu to take us through the numbers, just an overall political perspective from the ground as an observer, what you've seen change in the campaigns? How have these campaigns gone up and down for all the three contenders? Sriram, go ahead.
Barkha, about 18 months back, we had a discussion on this show between Yashwant Deshmukh, you and I, and a couple of others.
Yes.
And Mr. Deshmukh had said that Congress is finished. And I had said at this point of time, I can see a clear route of victory for all the three parties. I will now disappoint Anil a little bit. It is not a three-cornered contest in Telangana. There are 4 or 5 seats where BJP has a good edge, and another 5-6 seats where they are in reckoning. Otherwise, it's a straightforward fight between the BRS and the Congress party. In fact, the numbers that you show of C voter, I saw them to the last decimal. The difference at 39 and 41 looks like 2%. It's actually almost a percentage. And why this could give Congress a victory over BRS is because the vote percentage of BRS is spread evenly across 112 constituencies, adding 7 of the MIN, whereas Congress is very strong in about 95. So about 10-15 seats in northern Telangana, especially in Nizamabad and Adilabad. That's where the fight will be between BRS and BJP predominantly. So Congress could actually end up getting maybe a few seats, few votes less and more seats in form government. I'm seriously saying this to you. Congress is in running to win this election. The race is tight.
What explains that? What explains that a few months ago, the BJP had put all of its energy and sort of resources in this election? It looked like it was vying for at least being the main opposition party. The Congress, you're saying now, is not just gunning for number 2. You're saying there's a chance that it could unrest the BRS. Dr. Rakesh of the BRS is finally with us, and we'll get a response from him quickly. But what has changed? What has changed, Sriram?
See, when Congress was extremely weak and people were very disappointed, at least the anti-KCR sentiment, those who had it, they looked at BJP as a hope, and BJP did very well under Bandi Sanjay for a while. They peaked at about 24-25%, and from there they changed. They took a series of decisions that were all wrong. They removed Bandi Sanjay. At least the Congress was able to successfully take this message that was alluded to, that BJP, BRS, bhai bhai, that they are together. And that really has not only harmed the BJP, but it's also actually starting to affect MIM, which for the first time may lose 1 or 2 seats out of its historic stranglehold of 7 seats. Nampally, they are losing, and they could lose 1 more seat. I don't have...
But you're not telling me the reason. I want to get Dr. Rakesh in.
Simple. The entire anti-incumbency that BRS and the BJP and the Bandi Sanjay accumulated, BJP thought when it was doing well in GHMC, it was BJP vote. It was not. It was anti-BRS vote. And when they did not act against Kavita in the Delhi liquor scam, and this helped the Congress portray that BRS and BJP are together, which was strengthened when Prime Minister Modi recently came and spoke and said, KCR came to me. He asked me for permission to change the chief minister and make my son. And when Mr. Modi said all this, Mr. KCR has not yet spoken against it. So the Muslim community has totally moved to the Congress from BRS. It was fully with the BRS in the last election. I believe the movement down from BJP, the fact that Congress is seen as the only alternative, means in about 9,500 seats, the fight is between BRS, and the central question in the minds of the people of Telangana is this: do you want to give K. Chandrasekhar Rao a 3rd term? There are those who will say yes, there are those who will say no. And those who say no do not look at the BJP as an option at all, except in a handful of seats like Gosha Mahal, Raja
Okay,
Singh.
hold that thought, because basically what you're arguing, and Manu will tell us the numbers after Dr. Rakesh speaks, is that there was anti-incumbency, and indeed the survey does find that, and all of it seems to have moved from the BJP to the Congress. And the second thing that's happened is that the Muslim vote is moving, and it's moving from the BRS to the Congress. I haven't yet understood why it's moving away. But Dr. Rakesh, we're glad to have you finally with us. Strange to do a Telangana show without a BRS representative. So I'm glad you're able to join. Yeah.
Barkha, a second explain that. The Muslim vote moved the moment they realized BJP is not a serious player in the election.
So they didn't want to waste their vote. They didn't want to waste their vote. Dr. Rakesh, do you see the Congress today as your main opponent? Do you feel that you are in a position to sort of fight this election with the Muslim vote, as Sriram Karri is arguing, moving away from the BRS towards the Congress?
This is absolutely wrong, madam. Because of how Sriram is claiming to the Muslim votes completely going to the directly Congress. If BJP and Congress fight will be there, okay, that is accepted in Karnataka. But in Telangana, nobody Muslims. In Muslim area, for suppose in MIM area, Congress not win the one seat. In JHMC election, they win the only 3 corporators in Hyderabad. That worst situation is there in Hyderabad and throughout the state also. Now Congress party, and one subject is said to the Mr. Sriram. Modi says to the KCR came to me and they asked my son will be CM. Actually, BJP have the only one MLA in Telangana region. Why should we take the permission from the Modi ji? This is not necessary. And Modi claims that the Karnataka election completely sponsored by BRS party. But BRS and Modi says, BJP says Congress and BRS is the same. And BJP says BRS and BJP is same. But one thing, in Rahul ji, when entered to the election campaigning, they claims the caste politics. They called Dora because of nobody can think a burn in one community or one caste. He's a leader. Actually, KCR is a Telangana achieved leader and Telangana implemented leader. And now present schemes implemented in our Telangana region. No schemes will be there. Just I recently visited the Karnataka also. There is a no power and no Raitu Bandhu, no Raitu Bima, no drinking water, Mission Bhagiratha, nothing will be there, madam. I can, you want to, that video also I can share with you. Because of Congress already, means I am fully convinced I'm now present in, today is Amit Shah meeting in our Gadwal. I'm fully convinced the complete border constituencies of Karnataka, we are dumping majority, we are winning, ma'am. Because of in Karnataka, Congress, what promises given to the people, one promise also not implemented. Now present they are facing that problem, and here also the people are discussing the things in ground reality. I'm in campaigning, I'm in ground, I'm near to Karnataka border, just 10 kilometers from me, and they're saying to the yes, we are giving to the vote directly KCR. And last assembly elections, our vote percentage is 46.7%, madam. Now present that.
Okay, I'm sure he'll reconnect, but the basic points that he was making, we can debate. But before that, Manu, you've been waiting patiently. And I have a question looking at these numbers, which really confuses me. If you look at, you asked a question in the state, C voter, how many people are angry with the government and would like to see a new government? Can we actually go to that slide? Because that's a staggering number. If I remember it, it's can you take the banner off? 57% say they're angry. Take the banner off. 57% people say they're angry and they want to change the government. So anti-incumbency is a reality. Look at this number. On the other hand, KCR, can we go back to Manu now? KCR remains the preferred choice for chief minister, even though if you look at the satisfaction with the state government's work and with the, KCR's own work, the numbers are not terribly high. Manu, how do we understand this seeming paradox that 57% of people in the state want a different government, but yet KCR remains the preferred choice for chief minister?
Well, Barkha, it's the classic paradox in the Indian politics. We often have had powerful leaders and popular leaders leading regimes or cabinets which were not really popular. So anti-incumbency plays out at multiple levels. It plays out at the level of the MLA, at the minister, and perhaps sometimes even at the party. So even the party cadre can garner sufficient anti-incumbency against itself despite not being in a legislative capacity or an official capacity. So what we are witnessing is that it's a multiple term government that has a lot of, perhaps we can say, non-performers, and they have accumulated a lot of anti-incumbency. And what Mr. KCR currently is doing is perhaps trying to overcome, the pitfall generated by them. But it seems that he's falling short somewhere.
But then how do you explain the fact that he still remains by about 5 or 6 percentage points the most preferred CM candidate, Manu? Can we have a look at that slide, please? Yes, Manu.
Yeah. Well, there are two factors behind his popularity. Obviously, the first one is that he was the leader of the movement for statehood. So, there is that nostalgia, there is that residual feeling of, I would say, goodwill towards him. And the second bit has been that his welfare policies in the past were well received. So,
Right.
So the legacy voters continue to love him, and they are a significant chunk. And that is the precise reason why we cannot say that BRS is on the way out. Actually, it may be ahead by a bit.
Despite the anti-incumbency.
Yes.
This is a very interesting paradox. Dr. Rakesh, we lost you briefly there, but I want to throw open your comments to the rest of the panel. Anil, I want to bring you in. This is a very interesting, curious situation, but by the way, we also see this in some of the other states. For example, in Madhya Pradesh, there's a kind of fatigue factor. Madhya Pradesh is now voted, but Shivraj Singh Chauhan and Kamal Nath are neck and neck in terms of popularity, personal popularity. Also, if you look at the comparisons for the popularity of the Prime Minister and Rahul Gandhi, and I just want to give you a comparative overview so we have a national perspective. This is also from the ABPC voter poll. In both, can we go back to the first slide, please? I was going to talk about that. If you look at Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan, irrespective of what happens in the National Assembly, in the assembly elections, in terms of national perception, the Prime Minister's popularity remains enormously high compared to Rahul Gandhi's. Right? I want everybody to look at these numbers. 59% choice for PM in Madhya Pradesh, 64% in Rajasthan, 19% for Rahul, 20% for Rahul in Rajasthan. Now, if we switch to what's happening in the other two states, look at that. Telangana is the one state where Rahul Gandhi, Manu, has some popularity even at a national level. It actually bucks the trend. There is no other state. Mizoram, he has some respectable numbers, not in Madhya Pradesh, not in Chhattisgarh, not in Rajasthan, but in Telangana. What does this sort of tell you about what's going on with Telangana and Congress, Manu, quickly before we go back to the panel?
Telangana, we've observed this phenomena that the base of the Congress has largely stood intact. They were polling roughly about 1/3 of the votes, even in like pretty bad times, you can say, for them electorally. And, that has been the case. And now in this election, we see they are trying to build on top of that. So they are getting a positive swing on top of their previous base. The reason behind, I think one could be Bharat Jodo Yatra. It began in the south, and Rahul Gandhi was quite active with the workers from the south. And second bit being that there have been some major self goals by the BJP in the local state unit of the party, and that's why a chunk of voters and workers who you can call the aspirants, the ones who are seeking political mobility, they seem to have, decided that maybe Rahul Gandhi is not that bad a bet after all. It's even Stevens with both high commands.
So effectively, your survey shows an essentially primarily two-cornered contest, no longer substantively three-cornered, with the BRS in the lead despite the anti-incumbency, but the Congress putting up a kind of a very, very strong fight. Let's bring reactions in. Anil, it's over to you. Of course, things could change post-poll, and so I return to post-poll politics and that allegation of being hand in glove with the BRS, and I want you to respond to that. Anil?
See, again, earlier itself I had mentioned these are allegations which are very cut off from realities. You look at the Bharatiya Janata Party and we stand for. We have made it very clear across the country that one, we stand for development, and two, we act against the corrupt. In Telangana also, including the governing chief minister's close proximity members, the different agencies had been following the law, and they had been ensuring that all the corrupt practices are clamped down. And then obviously, like another panelist of mine did make a statement saying that because that person was not arrested, or these people are not arrested, there is a perception. But then we follow the rule of the law, and all these are processes. There is a judiciary here, there are agencies here, and they follow their own processes. The government doesn't get involved in any of those. The government just ensures that there is an environment created where rule of law is followed and the corrupt are clamped down. That is happening in Telangana also, where the Bharatiya Janata Party has been in the ground. Our party has been fighting against corrupt practices, and the government has been acting against corrupt practices. Then you look at and one of the biggest parties that is bearing the brunt is the BRS. So it is outrageous to even say that there is a collusion happening between these two parties. Like I mentioned many times before. Yes.
Sorry. No, I was just going to get Sriram to respond to that, because he's the one who made that point. And Sriram, you can't argue it both ways, that when agencies go after those who are accused, you say the BJP is misusing agencies. Now you're saying their failure to act against Kavita has gone down badly with voters. I mean, you can't argue this from both sides, can you?
Barkha, today there was this video of a BJP leader, young BJP leader, who is gone to ask for a vote. An old lady sitting outside the house. And her husband, the old man from inside, is shouting, if you had arrested Kavita, you would not have needed to come for vote. We would have voted for you. Now we will not. I'm not saying arresting Kavita is a good thing, shows the commitment towards fighting corruption or not. But we are also watching what's happening in Delhi, okay? So people of Telangana also have mobile phones, television and all that, Anil, unfortunately. So we know what's happening in vis-a-vis up in the same case and what's not happening here. And it's a people's perception. I am not suggesting that you should have arrested, or that's none of my business. People
you are saying that there's a kid glove treatment for a Kavita in the same Delhi liquor case compared to a Manish Sisodia, and that makes people suspicious.
There was this movie called RRR that came. Congress launched a campaign saying BBBB, BJP, BRS, bhai. Okay, this is what people believe, whether it's reality or not. I am not suggesting Mr. Modi and KCR have colluded. I'm saying I can report very objectively that the people of Telangana believe that's the case. There is also this belief, and people of BRS have substantially backed it by saying we don't need to get 60 seats to form a government. Even at 50, with 4 or 5 seats from MIM, they're suggesting that BJP will in some way. BJP people are saying we'll get 10, 15 seats.
Okay, let me ask you this. Before I go to Nagesh and to Dr. Rakesh, what is the one challenge? You've said a lot about the BJP's campaign, Sriram. One challenge for the BRS campaign, one challenge for the Congress campaign.
BRS campaign is this. There was a phenomenal demographic divide I saw last year in the numbers. People above the age of 60, what 75 to 80% were backing BRS then. People below the age of 40, 4 out of 5 voters are against BRS. It is an age divide in Telangana, and the Congress's very smart 6 guarantees have been able to get older people by promising them double the pension and women towards their fold, as opposed to TRS, which failed to get.
So the BRS is facing a generational challenge. What is the challenge the Congress? What is the challenge the Congress? Okay, got it. What is the challenge the Congress is facing? Because I want both these leaders to react to that.
2 aspects. Congress is facing the phenomenon. Will they be able to get the 60? If they fall short, will they sell out to the BRS? Will they be able to run a 5-year government without changing chief ministers? Will they be stable, etc.? They are at this point of time handling it slightly better than BRS. And I'll tell you the reason why I believe Congress has an edge as opposed to numbers, because I've heard enough people say to me across North Telangana, where BRS is stronger one and Congress is very weak, they're saying we have given KCR 2 terms, enough. Let's try Congress for one time. This is what I hear from most people.
Dr. Rakesh, please respond. The generational challenge, the fatigue with the BRS, despite what the numbers say, according to Sriram Karri. Dr. Rakesh. Sir, please unmute yourself.
And
Go ahead.
One thing, madam, completely Congress party depend on anti-incumbency of government, not making what implemented any state. For suppose what they promises given to the in Telangana, or they are implemented in Rajasthan or Chhattisgarh or any leading Congress leading state in Karnataka or Himachal Pradesh. They are not explaining to the people. And here our leader is a strong leader, madam. Our CM, next CM also, third time also we are coding our KCR sir is our CM. Then what is the leader of Congress party? No leader is, and what they are saying, Mr. Revant Reddy came from the TDP party and they not elected once MLA from that Congress party also. Means Congress party, so many leaders claiming we are a CMs. And who is implementing the schemes? There is no guarantee. And what promises given to the other state that is not implemented. There is a major problem. And the age gap. Okay, when you come to please come to the Hyderabad and you inquire any IT sector people, they can explain to below 30 years who is there. They are voting for BRS party because of KCR and KTR. KTR sir is our IT minister. Then only we are getting the good companies and we are establishing new companies also coming to the Hyderabad. There is the craze of Hyderabad because of only BRS party. Now, this is a complete age differences and all the things explaining to the opposition parties their assumption, not a ground reality. They're expecting we are winning. But who is the leader of that parties?
Nagesh, let's bring you in. Nagesh, let's bring you in. And you've seen Sriram pointing out the vulnerabilities in the Congress campaign. Go ahead.
Yeah, see, what Sriramji said is absolutely right. I agree with his statement saying that only Congress is controlling the narration in the Telangana. Before that, I'll answer the question: why Rahul Gandhi is so popular in Telangana? One, there is a scheme called Indra Awas Yojana. People got households here and a free electricity bill, road connectivity. They see all are provided by Congress. In fact, outer ring road, IT sector, all those IT employment got generated by the Congress. That is how they see, and they have a confidence on Rahul Gandhi family. That is how Gandhi is so popular here. And when it comes to Telangana Congress, here PCC Revant Reddy is so high and he's so popular here, and he's vocally taking fight against KCR, and he's exposing the BRS failures in across age group, above 62 till above 14, 18 years till 18 years. We are exposing BRS very clearly here, and we are confirming them. We are bringing the assurance that BJP and BRS are one in when it comes to Telangana. They're behaving like as there are a credible reason. Like say BRS is completely supporting them till farm bills to demonetization till what is lockdown. They are supporting one nation, one election policy. BRS is openly supporting to BJP. That is how it's a strong reasoning in Telangana. And nobody, historically, they know that BJP can form only, 4 to 5 seats. But when it comes to Telangana, Revant Reddy wave is bigger and mightier than even Modi ji's wave. Sorry, I may upset Anil, brother, but this is reality here. And Congress cadre here, Congress cadre is so energized and pumped up because of the confidence Revant Reddy giving to Congress.
Dr. Rakesh is very amused that you said Revant Reddy is a bigger face than Prime Minister Modi.
Prime Minister, please conduct one exit poll for don't put in the Rahul Gandhi, put in the Revant Reddy and Modi. Then how much credibility also getting to the you. Because of no credibility is there for that Mr. Revant Reddy, I am sorry to say. Because of what acted with the people and what promises given to the people, they're not accepting here. And Revant Reddy himself, their MP also claim they purchased the PCC president, and so many of leaders they're doing the dharna strikes in front of Gandhi Bhavan. because of they sold out the lot of seats. That is the allegation of that leader.
Okay, let's also remind ourselves, and Manu, I want you to come in here, that Lok Sabha and Assembly elections play out very differently. So I would hesitate to extrapolate a lot from the Assembly on national politics. But last word to you, Manu. I've got to close then. Also, Amit Shah's, of course, launching the manifesto, or has launched the manifesto for the BJP in Telangana as we speak. Go ahead, Manu.
I mean, you very rightly pointed out that split voting is a phenomena. People vote differently for different tickets. That is, they vote separately for Vidhan Sabha. They make a different choice for the Lok Sabha, because in one they're choosing the chief minister or the MLA, and in the other they're choosing an MP or the prime minister. So it's state politics, whatever you like there, versus national politics, whatever you like there. So people will have different choices, and these results in the Telangana state may not directly translate into the next Lok Sabha results. So it would be, there might be some correlation, but it won't be a one-to-one mapping of the results that would undergo. So the final word here would be that, to understand this election, just look at it like this. The BRS started out with the biggest vote base, I would say. Then there was the Congress, and then there was the BJP. If BJP had to win this election, it would have had to generate the biggest swing. So even if they generate a moderate-ish swing, it basically leads to nowhere. The second bit is that Congress, with a moderate-ish swing in its favor, comes into reckoning, which could be happening. And the BRS, by virtue of its big base, is still viable and perhaps has a slight edge, because it started off with a big base, and ultimately it will be all about swings and the momentums being carried into the last few days of the polls.
That, I think, is a very neutral, clinical summing up of the heat and dust of politics. Those are the numbers from the survey. The actual numbers will be available to us on the 3rd of December. Thank you very much to Sriram, to Nagesh, to Dr. Rakesh, to Manu, to Anil Antony for being with us, and to our audience as ever for watching. See you soon. Have a great weekend. Have a great World Cup. See you soon. Mojo's Story has always made a commitment to its viewers to go to where the story is. And as you can see here, we are at the epicenter of the Israel war on Gaza. We are right at the front line, about 1 mile from the Gaza Strip, as the Israeli military gets ready with its tanks and its gunners to begin its final frontal assault that will take troops into Gaza. As we said, we are not like other organizations. We believe in giving you all sides of the story objectively and as much as possible from the ground. And that's exactly what we're doing here, covering the biggest global story today from the epicenter of the war zone. So please, we need your support. Support us, become a Mojo member, subscribe to us, spread the word, and thank you for your support.